leave, they leave when they want to. What was the last characteristic, Ben?
Oh man, you put me on the spot.
I saw you daydreaming, that's why I picked you.
Oh man, I haven't.
Price takers.
Price takers.
So they are price takers.
You guys stole my answer.
Oh, really?
I take notes.
What do we mean by price takers? Right?
What?
What do we mean when we say they are price takers? What does that mean? You remember? No? What does that mean?
Like they adapt to whatever the new price is. So let's say like my price, I'm selling my product under the equilibrium. Everyone else can start selling.
So you say they adapt to the prices. The prices from who? From the market. So when we say they're price takers, they're taking the price from the market. Whatever the market says is the price, the firm will have to do. Keep that in the back of your mind. A purely competitive firm is a price taker. In the industry, the market says the price is $3, and a firm will have to charge $3. Now from this, we're able to come up with a set of graphs at the short run. And the short run is that time period where you just open the business. So you just open the business, and we're trying to look at what could possibly happen. You just open the business in a purely competitive structure. One of two things could happen. The first thing is, you just open the business and you are actually making money. That's the profit scenario. So just open the business and you are making money, profits. Now, here's what it looks like. Remember, this part of the course, a lot of the stories that are told about the market structure, they will be told with graphs. Okay? So the profit scenario, let's set this up, that's price, cost, and revenue. So price, cost, and revenue. And earlier you guys told me that a purely competitive firm is a price taker. Whatever the market says, the firm will have to take in terms of prices. That's what we mean. So that price line is the same as the demand line, the same as marginal revenue. A special condition for a purely competitive structure. Demand is a horizontal line. They're price takers. It's perfectly elastic. No firm will charge a price higher than what the market says. Why?
Because then they wouldn't have any sales.
No firm will charge a price higher because absolutely no one will buy from them. What about the lower? Yeah?
They're already making money with the price that they're selling it at.
If you can sell any quantity, very good, at this particular price, why would you go lower? Doesn't make sense. So when we say the firm is a price taker, we mean it in its truest sense. Whatever the market says, the firm will do. No price higher, no price lower. This is why the demand curve comes out looking like a horizontal line. Now remember, this is a scenario where the firm just opened a business and they are making profits. Now I told you a little trick. If we want to figure out or show a graph with a firm making profits, we know we need cost information. Which means we need the average cost curve. Now what is the little trick when we are drawing this graph to show profits? What's that? What goes below the demand curve? So when you put in your AC curve, that's U-shaped. Remember, it needs to sit below the demand curve. What curve am I missing?
Marginal cost?
Which one?
ABC.
The AVC? When does the AVC come into play? So the curve that we're missing is the NC curve. And you're saying the NC curve is that curve that looks like a check mark and it cuts the AC at its minimum point. Once you have this, you are ready to analyze the purely competitive structure. And the analysis begins for every market structure with the same question. Where are profits maximized? Where do you make the most profits possible? When you get married, really no. Where MC is equal to MR. Please remember that rule. Profits are maximized where the two M's meet. MC is equal to MR. Right here, where I put this bright red dot. Two M's. Once you get that point, it tells you everything you need to know. Profits are maximized here, which means the quantity you should produce to maximize profit, let's call it Q star. What price is this firm going to charge? What price will the firm charge?
Price taker.
They're price takers, so there's no confusion. The firm has no choice but to charge this price. As you said, they're price takers. What else are they going to do but charge the market price? So I have the price and I have the quantity. I need to figure out if the firm is making a profit or a loss, which means I need cost. If you want to figure out cost, remember, this is the profit maximizing quantity. The cost to produce this is where this profit maximizing quantity cuts the AC. Take it over, that is your cost. Is this firm making a profit or a loss? How do you know that?
Because it's lower than the price.
The cost to produce the good is sitting below the price you fetch on the market. So this firm is making money given by this rectangle. Yes? Just open the business, you're making profits. There we go. There's no guarantee that when you just open the business, you're going to make money. It could be the case where you just open the business and you lose money. That's case number 2, the losses. Again, the story in this part of the course is told with graphs. So, let's set it up. Your quantity, you got your price, your cost, your revenue. Here's our demand curve. We know it's a horizontal line because they are price takers. Losses. What's the trick?
AC goes above.
What's that?
AC goes higher.
So, when you're putting in the AC for the loss scenario, it needs to sit above the demand curve. This is very useful when you're reading your multiple choice questions. You see the AC sitting below, you know the answer will have to do with a profit. You see the AC sitting above, you know the answer will have to do with losses. What am I missing? MC. Good. The MC. Get that in there. Always start at the same point. Elvira, where are profits maximized? So they are price takers, that's the horizontal line, but where do we start this? Where are profits the biggest, maximized? Remember the point?
MN.
On MC and
Where the two M's meet, MC and MR. So where these two M's meet, right here, this is always your starting point. Kind of more, what do I do next?
Go up to AC.
So I start off with MC is equal to MR, but what is that telling me? What's that?
That's your quantity.
This will tell me my quantity. Yeah?
And you follow to the left.
And that will tell me what?
Your price.
Very good.
And then anything below that is your cost.
So how do I find the cost? Do I take this point and bring it over?
yes.
Good job.
What's that?
You go to the AC.
Take this quantity up to where it hits the AC line. That is your cost. Be very careful. Don't let me trick you. So this quantity tells you everything. It's almost like you find this point and you run a line through it. This is what you're going to be producing. If you want to know the cost associated with that production, you take it up to where it hits the AC. That is your cost. Your cost of production is sitting above your price. This firm is losing money, and here are the losses. The only way you get good at these is if you practice them, and not the night before, and not 6 o'clock before the exam at 7. Questions so far? Now you're losing money, that's case 2. What do you need to figure out next under the losses if you're losing money?
SHUTDOWN.
Very good. You are losing money. You need to figure out, should I shut down or should I stay open? Remember, when you're losing money in the short run, it doesn't necessarily mean that you need to close up the business. Sometimes you should hang in there. Sometimes you're losing money when you just open a business and you should just stop. If you want to figure that out, that's where we consider what's called the shutdown conditions. What's the extra curve we put in to figure out shutdown? Good. Average variable costs. Set this up. I'm going to call this case 2A. And this is when you stay open. Let's get the demand curve in here. Remember, the firm is losing money. So, which one is above? And you told me I needed an extra curve, which was the ABC. Now remember, losing money, the AC above. Losing money but stay open. That extra curve, the ABC, when you put that one in,
Below.
good. That one needs to go below. Again, very useful when you're reading your multiple choice questions. You know, someone just gave me this Fitbit. When you go 10,000 steps, it kind of shocks you. I almost chopped off my arm just now. I was like, what the hell? But I realized quickly. So you put in the ABC, that one needs to sit below the demand curve. What am I missing? MC. The one that looks like a check mark and cuts these two at the minimum. You should get into the habit of this. The starting point is always the same. Same question. Where are profits maximized? The two M's meet. So help me figure this out. After this, what do I do?
Quantity.
Quantity.
Price.
And who do I get price?
That's just what it was.
So they're price takers. Cost?
Go up the quantity.
This?
Yep.
Take that across?
No.
Go up.
Okay. Alright. See, I can't trick you anymore. Cost is sitting above the price, they're making a loss. Now remember the condition. A firm, let me write the condition here, should stay open. So even though you're losing money, here's the condition. Stay open if your price actually is above your ABC. We argue in econ, if you can cover your variable costs, what you sell is enough to cover your variable costs, even though you are losing money, you should stay open. And the reason why we say that is, even if you shut down, you still have your fixed costs to deal with. So if you can cover your average variable costs, I remember variable costs are things like your labor, your material, electricity. If you can cover those things, continue to stay open. Cover them, pay a little bit on the fixed costs. Because even if you shut down completely, you still will have all of that fixed cost to deal with. From a rational perspective, if you're covering the ABC, still stay open. Now what we need to figure out right now, we have price, and we need to figure out what is the ABC. How do we find the average variable cost? Remember, this quantity line tells you everything. So if you want to figure out what's the variable cost associated with this quantity Q star, it's right where the quantity line is cutting the AVC. You bring that across, that's your AVC star. I know you can't see it. The price is sitting above the AVC. And if that's the case, the firm should stay open. Yeah? Last one in the recap, and then we move on to the new stuff. Losing money, but you should shut down. So case 2B. Shut down. So again, no Remember, the only time you're thinking about shutdown conditions is under a loss. So please don't tell me if I'm making profits and then I decide not to shut down, that sequence doesn't make sense to me. Shutdown conditions are relevant under the scenario of loss. That's why we're calling them 2A, 2B. So, let's set this up. Let's get that demand curve in there. Losses, AC above. So, if we need to figure out should the firm shut down or stay open, we know we need the AVC. You're telling me what the trick is. That AVC, if you want to show a shutdown condition, also needs to be above demand curve. Yes? Let's get that MC in there. Let's analyze this sucker. Where are profits maximized?
M&M.
Oh, we're getting M&M, alright? Then what?
Quantity.
Yes?
Market price. Go up.
To where? What does this tell me?
Cut.
So they are losing money. Now I need to figure out should they shut down or stay open. So I need the AVC, because remember, let me write that here. The firm should shut down if they cannot cover their AVC. So shut down if the price is sitting below the AVC. You cannot pay your labor, you cannot pay for your material, you can't pay your electricity bill. Oh yeah, you should shut down. So now we need to figure out where AVC is relative to price. Quantity line tells you everything. Where it hits the AVC, that is the average variable cost. The average variable cost is sitting above the price. This firm should shut down. Yeah? Questions? Again, you gotta practice these. But this was only the short run. Just open the business, making profits, making losses. This was only the short run.